Hello, Sports Cards Daily. It's Ziggy. It's night 3 of Sports Cards Daily Night Live. Wow, I have to figure out the name's going to be what I'm going to call it, but I'm super excited to be here again. Let me tell you, one of the hardest parts of this show has been the production requirements. Me having to line up getting a guest online. I have a lot of people who want to come on, and many of them have been great, but just getting schedules and coordinating has been more challenging than I thought it would be. So we'll just keep swinging at the bats. One night I know we're going to not have a guest. We have a great guest tonight. I'm really excited to bring this guest on, tell you how I met him, tell you his story, and then again open it up for Q&A. Again, that's the goal for the shows every night. We'll spend a little few minutes on some news, some stuff I've learned today. Then I'm going to turn it over to our guest, and then we're going to go Q&A. Pittsburgh, thanks for being out there in the chat. Give me a little mic check. Let me know. I got internet problems. I'm on a low budget system here. This is a no frills network. So hopefully everything's okay. Groot, quiet. Okay, let me take you guys in here. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to spend a few minutes here, and then I'm going to get my guest online because he's being so kind and hanging out in the back there. Oh, bam. So we'll start here. I start with Sports Collectors Daily. I think it's a great place to start your day. Some cool articles here. The one that caught my attention is this one where they're talking about PSA grading the 2 million card tally. Now, some other ones that I saw, they talk about Justin Jefferson, great player, be interesting to see, second-year wide receiver. Not a fan myself. Don't like wide receivers, only like quarterbacks. We talked about that yesterday. We talked about how bad Topps is running their company. Some interesting notes here. A-Rod's out on the Panini talk. That wasn't a surprise. Apparently that had sizzled before the Panini lost their licenses, are going to lose their license. And again, remember, Panini's an international company, man. They've been making stickers and other stuff forever. Don't worry about them. It's kind of like the Mitsubishi company. They're a conglomerate. They're going to be fine. And I really think they're going to make some other moves. We're going to talk about that in a second here too. Let me pull up this article here. This one I thought was pretty interesting. So over 2 million cards have been graded since June. That's June, July, August, 3 months, 2 million cards. That's amazing. I'm not going to read this to you. I encourage you guys to go check it out. But there's a great breakdown here from Gem Mint. It's still a lot of basketball. Right, I think over 240,000 were baseball. Basketball is 240, followed by baseball, and then only 5,700 hockey cards. Hockey, just what is going on with hockey? What I mean by that is I'm surprised. Hockey's got a history. Hockey's got vintage, and hockey has it's global, right? It's a global sport. I'm surprised. In fact, I'll ask our guest tonight. I guess they don't play hockey. I guess everywhere, but it's just not. I don't know. It's not as popular as I would think it would be. What were some other things here? Just some other great numbers. You guys can check this out. Other news and notes. Daily Hobby. Again, big fan of the page, but not getting any new content. I haven't seen anything new here tonight. I don't see anything new. You guys let me know if I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something, but everything I see right now looks like I've seen it before. How to become a sports memorabilia dealer. I don't know if I read that one. Is that a new one? I have to check that out later. It wasn't one that caught my mind right now. Okay, over to Panini here. Panini does this deal. Panini signs soccer star Christian Pulisic, whatever, to long-term exclusive autograph and memorabilia deal. Well done, Panini. Well done, Panini. Like, you think Panini's thinking at Fanatics, like going, yeah, you know what? I used to just do cards. Panini should just go global, dude, and go after soccer. I mean, really, Panini should look at Fanatics like they do a competitor and go, Fanatics, you want to go ahead and license American sports and memorabilia? Great. We're going to go global, and they should focus on soccer. I mean that. I really think if they focus on soccer, they've got a great future ahead of them. And they're still doing great things in the current sports, but soccer, don't sleep on soccer. That reminded me, a great video. I have to find this video for you guys. Inglorious P. Keep that in mind, Inglorious P. Okay, so real quickly, snapshot, market movers, just kind of what's moving and shaking. And let me just say this. In the last few months since I've been showing this graph every day, nothing's been moving and shaking. Okay, it's been relatively flat. Luka's been around 800. Giannis has been around 2,000. LaMelo's been around 800 to 1,000. It just nothing has changed dramatically in the last few months. It's been relatively flat. I actually put a video out on my main channel tomorrow that's going to go through this a little bit more in detail with these numbers for you guys. But I just point out, things are still flat. Here's another cool video I want to bring to your attention. Last year, Sports Cards Daily, right? This is September 2nd. This is last year, right? Donruss Fanatics Donruss. Check this out. This is 2020 Donruss Factory Pack Blaster Fanatics exclusive. I'm only thinking this because I'm thinking to myself how if we only knew then what we know now, what started as a small Trojan horse and Fanatics doing Donruss football blasters, which sold for $99, dude, for a blaster. $99 for a blaster. Now Fanatics owns the whole damn show. Isn't that amazing? Amazing how time changes. Do I have something here? Okay, I want to get there. Let me go back here real quickly. Inglorious P, is that what it was? Oh, Inglorious P. Oh, where is he? I'm probably misspelling it wrong. Incorrectly spelling it, raising the chat going, damn, Ziggy, you're an idiot. H-I-I-I. Inglorious, right? What did I do wrong? Inglorious. What did I do wrong? Okay. Fanatics will partner with CSG. This is a great little video, and I'm a big fan of this guy's channel. So let me just bring this to your attention. What he points out here, really interesting correlation, guys. Everybody's paying attention to PSA and Nat, and he's a great collector and yada, 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 whatever. Look at this. I forget the gentleman's name. One of them is the rapper, Jay-Z, and the other guy, I forget the other guy, they mentioned his name. They are both co-owners of CSG, and they are co-owners of Fanatics. So look for Fanatics CSG in the future. I love what Inglorious P talks about here. He has a prediction about this. I have to say he's probably right. Like, in fact, if anybody's sweating, I think PSA's finally sweating. And my last comment to this, remember when PSA made the joking comment about how they're happy to see, or Nat made the comment about he's happy to see that Fanatics got the license because Panini's been lazy? Dude, we had TGT on last night. PSA, you're throwing rocks from a glass house, man. You guys have gotten lazy. And now look at Fanatics and CSG, and the Wolves are circling. Okay, last thing I'm going to go talk about real quickly was watching this video. This was live earlier tonight. I missed it. I'm catching up on it now. Q&A with two of my favorite guys, Dustin, Personal Finance Dad, and to me, the real best content creator in sports cards, and that is Chris with Baseball Card Collector, Investor, Dealer. Love his stuff. Love his stories. Just very unbiased. Perfect, great story. Anyway, he talks about on here something I never heard of before, and that is this thing called VintageCardPrices.com. VintageCardPrices.com. It's a price lookup that has historical information on prices, has current price information, and it has all of the different, it seems like it's Card Ladder and Market Movers on Plus, because it's got all the different auction houses, right? It does look a little pricey. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It didn't look cheap. They've got like an annual membership, different membership models. Like, see, $18 a month, $180 a year, 24-hour access. I don't know. I just thought this was interesting. I'd never heard about this until tonight when I was listening to the show. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. Now I'm going to go ahead, guys, and I want to bring on my guest here. Let me go ahead and kill this here and go back here. So my guest. So I listen to a lot of YouTube channels, and I was listening to this channel, I don't know, months ago. And what's cool about this channel is they're on early in the morning for me, because these guys, this is I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I feel like I'm going to build some suspense here. I'm bringing on Sauce from Double Coverage. Okay. So I was listening to them, and they're Australian, and they're talking the hobby and talking stuff, man. And I've been listening to them all the time early in the morning or in off hours. And I just love their content. I love their perspective. They've got a really deep perspective when it comes to soccer, obviously, right? They understand soccer, but they got me to listening to F1. They got me listening about basketball cards. I'll even say this. I did not listen to Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze until I was listening to you guys at Double Coverage. And that's where I met Cage. And that's when I got – and I just mentioned that because I think it's great about the hobby is the more interesting stuff you listen to, the more people you'll meet and cross over to, and you'll learn more. I don't know. Just it's really got me excited. So without further ado, without further delay, let me go ahead and bring on. How are you doing tonight, sir? Welcome on, Sauce.
How are we, Ziggy? Thank you very much for the warm welcome. Much appreciated. Been trying to catch each other for quite a few number of days to get on and create some content together. So very happy to be here. And yeah, I love your little roundup, how you go through the news. It's definitely something that I tune into your show about and look at. And it actually helps us get actual ideas to talk about stuff on our show. So, awesome, it all comes hand in hand. So yeah, really good stuff. I love the way you're putting together content, and your grind is admirable. I'll say that because you get on here every day and put some content out for people, whether people like it or not, doesn't matter. You push through, and it's good. It's good. I enjoy it.
I really appreciate it. It's funny. I want to say, dude, how much I loved your rant the other day about the people in Australia who are buying the boxes for $200 or whatever when they can buy it for less. Dude, your rant and your passion, I felt that, right? You're like, it's not the idiot who's selling it for this much. It's the idiot who's paying this much. Why are you paying this much?
Yeah,
It's so funny because I would say I look at both of them as idiots, but you're absolutely right. Why do people do that? I don't know. I don't know. And you're showing them in that video. This is great, guys. He shows how, I guess in Australia, what is it? The special blasters down there, the mega boxes
yeah.
are
So
like
the mega boxes
$200.
we don't get them here. So that's more like an American exclusive product. We get blasters down here and hanger boxes from Select Basketball, but not megas. So people are importing them from the States, whether they're getting from eBay or whether they're getting through Discord groups, Facebook groups, and then they bring them over here and then they just sell it at astronomical prices. And I just broke it down for them and said, well, if you're outside America and you're not using like a reshipping service, so the main one that people use is shipmycards.com. It's run by Brian Wells and his family. They run a very tight ship over there. So, commend them for providing a service for people outside of America to be able to access cards. And, breaking it down that if you send it there and you pay the fee there and then bring it over and you can pretty much get the box, people paying 400 Australian dollars, which might be around 300 US for a box. Right. And I mean, I've seen across Facebook groups and, they were started at 100 US dollars a box and now they're down to about 80, 90 you can pick them up for. And if you bring those back yourself and say you want to rip 3 or 4 and you break that down, even with FedEx shipping, which might cost you another, say, $10 a box on top, it's still going to be way cheaper than paying someone here $400. 300. Let's. I'm going to talk US prices. $300 for the box, right? So yeah, it baffles me, and it's unfortunate that we don't have more viewers, so that more people would understand the economics of behind, sourcing boxes and how you can do it a lot cheaper yourself. And if you've got a few friends in the hobby, maybe you can get 10 and you split it up amongst yourselves, or 12 boxes and you get 3 each and you split the whole costs, amongst each other. So
you nail on the head. This is one thing I love about your channel is that you really bring to me what the hobby is about, which is really about information. If you know, and you can save people money, you can educate them when things happen. You talk about breaking, when breaking used to be a bunch of guys who were sharing the cost. That's what the hobby's about, man. So I love your perspective there about if you had more people you could educate them on, because you're right. If you don't know, and this is what bothers me, when people came storming into the hobby last year, they're like, oh, go buy these cards. It's on eBay. It must be worth it. And they're paying this outrageous money. Like, calm down. Hold on. If people were educated a little bit more, I think they wouldn't have gotten burned as fast. So I love the way you have a great perspective on it. And I think it's also interesting. You mentioned Ship My Cards and Brian Wells. I think I met him in Facebook probably 5 years ago with some other friends who mentioned him because of the whole issue with international. And I think he started that years ago. It's just kind of as a Facebook add-on to some friends in his Facebook group who are outside the country. And it spawned in this huge business. And now, I mean, it even has tax advantages, right? Like I even know US members who use Ship My Cards, right? Because you could be in California, and I'm getting people in trouble here, right? But they have 2 addresses, right? An Oregon one and somewhere else. So you can use that address and basically use them as a location of everything sent to, and then save on taxes and then ship it to yourself in one purchase. So there's a lot of innovation in the hobby based on trying to figure a way around stuff. I guess not around it, but how to get it done. Like if you wanted a box of cards, you would want me to ship it to your Ship My Cards address, right? Not to Australia.
Yeah, correct. It costs me less money, costs you less money, and I mean at the end of the day, I'm paying the shipping. So of course, it's better. It's better for us.
But you do one package,
yeah. So I just ship back stuff that I've literally had sitting in there it's like 4 months worth of purchases sitting in there. I was like 50 items. And I've just shipped that all back at once in one big hit. So if I was to, literally take all of those and ship them one by one from eBay, I mean, I'm literally probably saving about $1,000 in shipping. Yeah. Maybe something like that.
And you have a hell of a mail day too, man. That's a hell of a freaking mail day.
There'll be a video on double coverage. There'll be a video on double coverage YouTube channel. Don't you worry about that, about what's in my Ship My Cards. It's always fun for international people.
So tell us about double coverage. Tell us about your team there and my audience about you. When do you guys go live? When is your content? Because like I said, I stumble on you guys more than I find you guys. Like I hit the reminders when I can. But tell us a little bit about double coverage.
Yeah, so double coverage is essentially just started about 12 months ago, where uh, Dom and myself, we I've been in the hobby sort of recently, maybe like 3 years. Dom's been in the hobby for 15 plus years. And, we both enjoyed card collecting, and we're like, well, there was other podcasts down here in Australia, but no one really putting out a regular amount of content to what we felt was at that time, the way the market was going, that this is a very niche area where there's possibility for it to grow a large following, and talk about something that we enjoy doing. Like, I love collecting cards. I love collecting things in general. I collect other stuff as well, like pops and I mean, now NFTs. We'll go down that rabbit hole in a bit, but we just thought, all right, let's go about it. And we didn't want to just talk about cards, because we always spoke about, we've known each other since we were, kids, 10 and under. And we've always spoken about, when we went to school together, let's do a podcast about sports one day. And, the matter of the fact is, we all collect sports cards, and it all crosses over. So we thought, let's do like it's a sports wrap-up show for essentially the first 30 minutes of the show, 40 minutes, and then there's another 40 minutes which we talk about anything to do with the hobby. And then we've all got our infamous lemon of the week, where the winner will go home with a BGS lemon gem munted. It says gem munted under there. One of our fans actually made this for us, so that's we're reaching people that someone's created that for us. And we will send that out to the winner of the year, of the lemon of the year. But and we just started going down that road. And look, you go have a look at our first video. It was very average in our first few months, but the production's gotten better and better. And we're just always looking to improve our content. And we love getting on guests and having a chat to them and talk about their story and where their collecting journey has begun. We try to get on at least one guest a week. We aim for. Sometimes it doesn't happen, especially when we're trying to get people overseas, and just the time difference. It's quite difficult. But that's where it sort of all came about. And now it's like, one of my favorite times of the week to get on there and talk sports and talk the hobby. And as the show's growing more, we're getting a lot more interaction with the live, and people getting in the comments, which is what we love, which is what we envisioned when we originally started the show, because we started as a pre-record show. And I was like, Dom, we should do this live so we can get people involved. I think that's the real step there. So yeah, it's been tough. I'll be honest with you. It's been tough because we haven't, the situation in Australia with the whole pandemic has been tough. We've had a number of card shows cancel on us, which, we had big plans to go to the card show and, do live podcasting from the show and create more content and, help us get more exposure. But we're building slowly. We're happy to say that, we've gone from our very first show, 5 listeners listening to, on average, somewhere between, 60 to 70 listens. And that's just on audio format. So then there's obviously more through the video and things like that. That's the podcast. So, and look, it's really enjoyable. We've now created doublecoverage.media, where we've branched out to another number of Australian content creators that make other content. We do extra shows on top of it. So we've also got the Soccer Card Collective that just focuses solely on soccer cards and the soccer sports roundup. Then we've also got the Crunch Time podcast. We've also got Off the Grid, which talks about, we go live on race day and watch the race while we're watching the race, talk about F1 cards and F1. And then we also we're branching out into a few live watches. So, and we got that, we pinched a few of these ideas off people, but, we go live on what might be it's a Saturday night here. So over there, it might be a Friday morning. And then it's generally when there is some soccer games on, some English Premier League. We'll watch a game and we'll talk cards. We'll talk anything, and people get in the comments and ask us questions. Sometimes we get a lad that jumps in the comments and starts giving us trivia about soccer, and we love it. And then it's really fun. Like it's really fun to interact with people. So,
so you have Card Hour from Vincent, who's over in Europe.
Correct.
I said, guys, if you're watching tonight or you watch this later on, you really should go over and subscribe to Double Coverage. I love to see them get more viewers on YouTube. I'm a YouTube guy. I don't follow your podcast. I listen to you on YouTube. I love your YouTube content. Like I said, I love listening to you in Card Hour. I love that international perspective. I've listened in to you talk about F1 and learn more about that. I can't, like I said, I really love what you guys are doing, man. Big fan of it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome.
So you mentioned the NFTs. You mentioned the NFTs.
Let's go.
And you mentioned collectibles, and you mentioned Funko. So have you seen that Funko's doing the NFT, the redeemable Funko NFT? Have you seen this?
I had seen it come across my socials at some point.
Okay,
if you can elaborate on what's going on.
So, and again, I just got in this, but Wax platform, which I like the Wax platform. It's the blockchain. Funko is doing drops on there where if you get legendary, I think it's legendary, Grail, or one of one NFTs, you can redeem them for a physical Funko, which will be limited made. And what they're doing is right now you can buy these NFTs on the Wax blockchain on December 1st. Whoever's account has the blockchain will get a token, and then you have 30 days to redeem it and get the physical Funko. So the first physical Funkos will probably come out in 22. The first drop was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The second drop was Big Boys, which I don't really understand. Big Boys. It's a restaurant here in the United States. I don't even know if you'd even care. Big Boys, Big Bob's or something like that. But anyway, what's cool about them is, like I said, you can, if you get the right one, you get a physical item, which I think you're going to see more of that coming from companies like whether it's Fanatics or Panini or Topps, where your one of one might not be just getting a one of one card. It might be getting a one of one jersey or an autograph or something shipped to you from the athlete or an experience, right? It might be getting tickets to a game or something. You guys were talking about in soccer where maybe if you have the right soccer tokens or tickets or NFTs, you get drinks or free food or better upgraded seats or something like that. I do see that stuff coming. But it's just really, really interesting what's going on.
Yeah, I think, look, I really think it's a good idea. Like, it baffles me, some of these NFTs that people are buying in, these crazy koalas, the lazy lions, and what the hell it actually means. Like, and I've been putting tweets about it on our Twitter account saying, be careful. Like, some of these are literal pieces of crap, right? That are just there to pump, get pumped and, to make people lots of thousands and millions of dollars. And, if you're not careful, you're going to lose a lot of money. So, something like that where there's a limited amount, then you get an actual physical Funko. I mean, Funkos have, although some of the prices on them aren't what they, aren't the same as like cards, but I've got like a Giannis Funko that I bought for $20 and it's worth like $250 now, right? So, if that can go up and then you get limited ones where the limit on it based off how many minted NFTs there are.
Yep.
I mean, that's good. That's definitely going to create demand. And I really like the idea and what Funko is trying to do.
I was going to ask you, so with your Funko, the $200 Funko, do you know how many of those are made?
No, you don't know.
So I'll just show you. I mean, in fact, while we're talking, and I'll be playing with this second. I'll show you this Funko where you can see how many are made of the Funko, which I think is really cool. So you would know how many are out there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rarity. We'll go to legendary, and let me go ahead and share my screen.
I've just found the article on Funko.com. So I'm just having a quick browse through as I'm talking to you, and there's a YouTube video that shows you how to get them through Wax.
Of course, I'm having issues with my internet connection again. Way to go, internet connection. Can you guys still hear me? See me?
Sure can.
Good. Okay, hold on. No listings? Give me a break. Why is there no listings? Rarity filter, legendary. Okay, so here they are. Here's the legendary ones. And you'll know that if I click on it and you look at the details, so you can see how many are made. There's 1,467 of these guys. And you scroll down here and it tells you the release date, and the owner will receive on December 1st a redemption coin in their wallet, which is redeemable for 30 days for the free physical pop at digital.funko.com. Now, see,
So
that's
what
pretty
happens with the
interesting.
digital version? Does that keep staying in circulation?
That's what I was just going to ask you. Because a couple things in my mind. Just because they issue them doesn't mean all those will get redeemed, first of all. And you're right. I assume that NFT stays in your possession, but you would have to then know the value is lower, right? Because it doesn't have the physical thing anymore. At least I'd hope you know that.
I mean, let's look at the board Ape Yacht Club, man. So does it really mean that it's going to go down in value when you've got those things that are ridiculously overpriced? But I don't know. I'm sort
Let
of
me
I'm
ask you:
lost
is
for
this a bad
words.
price? Is this a bad price for these guys? Let me show you this. If I go back here, so this Funko Casey Jones is roughly $144 US dollars. If I buy it now and I would redeem it, do you think that physical Funko would be worth more than $140 if there's only 1,400 made? And then what are some other? What are some more expensive
That's
ones?
an interesting one because that I mean in the scheme of Funko, that's not a lot. That's really low in
All right,
terms
so
of
here's a
how
Bebop.
many
A Bebop
Funkos.
is 280. Okay, here's a Shredder. Shredder's costing 215, and that's just
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
pulling these randomly. It's lowest listing.
Can you do
Um,
offers on here?
can you do offers on here? So this is sales. No, these are buy-its. There are auctions, but people don't typically auction these off, the
Okay.
legendary ones, or they'll set
Yeah,
they'll set it
I'm
low.
trying to familiarize myself with all the different NFT marketplaces, and like OpenSea, you can make offers on. This one
Yeah,
seems as though you
I will
can't
tell
make
you,
offers.
this is my favorite platform for NFTs. That's Wax. I think Wax is the best. Now, unfortunately, Tops is not going to be on Wax anymore. I'm trying to find some. I'm trying to find some of the turtles. Here's Shredder again. I'm wondering what the freaking turtles cost. Highest price. Let's look at some of the higher price ones. Here's the bundle of all four. Someone wants $582 for all four. That seems pretty fair. Oh no, hold on. That's not for all four. That's for one of them. All four he's asking $2,600 or something ridiculous. Anyway, I started mentioning it because you said you collect. So I was thinking about that too. I was thinking, see, I like cards. I got into collecting jerseys years ago and helmets, and what I didn't like about them is shipping them. It's a pain in the ass to ship it. So I think Funkos would be the same thing. I think they'd be a pain in the ass to ship. So I don't know if I'd want to buy Funkos and ship them. If I bought a Funko, I'd probably want to keep it. It'd probably be a PC item. Do I want a PC a turtle? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, dude, they're dropping Funkos every 6 to 8 weeks. And here's another thing. So these Funko drops, they are queue drops where you have to get into a queue. And if you get in the queue, then you can make so many purchases. This last one, Bob's Big Boy or whatever, you can only make a $30 in transactions per person. And it's sold out in minutes. I mean, in minutes. They've all been selling out really fast. And then on the secondary market, everything's selling for 2 to 4 to 5x afterwards. So the Funkos are definitely on fire.
Just trying to go through here because you can actually in that Atomic Hub, there's a drop down that says Funko, and you can actually click on it.
Yeah,
And,
dude, Atomic Hub's got you can click on the category Funko. You can then click on rarities there and sort by the one of one. I think there's also somebody mentioned to me, and I don't know where this is, where you can collect different levels of the Funko NFTs, and if you complete different levels, you can get a redeemable token. I can't figure that out. So you might hear about that. Like there's more than one way to get the redeemable token. It's not just by having the legendary or the grail or whatever it is. There's other ways. Like the other NFTs have some value as well, is what someone explained to me.
so were those big boy Funkos, were they redeemable as well?
Yeah, they have redemptions as well. So if you go to Funko, if you're in Atomic Hub, and in fact, I can show you through my screen here while I'll share with everybody. And there's a little different format tonight, but we'll get the audience into some Funkos tonight. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Funko. If I click off that, I got Big Boy Funko as well. Or if you just go here, search category, you put Funko in, it's going to load up for you all the Funko options. The first Funkos are the Funko sample tokens. Okay, sample packs. There's only like a couple varieties. Then you got Teenage Mutant Turtles. You got Big Boy, and then over here on the Big Boys, like I go and look at the pack prices, lowest pack prices, and look at standard. These are that's I want pack prices. So they're trading at $65. So they're only 2x what they sold for yesterday. They won the market at $10 a pack, and they're selling for 22. Or if I go over here to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when I look at their packs, look at that. They're selling for $50 a pack. And again, those sold for $10 a pack as well.
Because it says here properties transferable and burnable. So I'm guessing maybe when you transfer it, does that mean it gets burnt?
I don't know, but again, they would have the ability. Like I know there is a thing called a viral NFT, which does exactly that. You redeem the NFT, and it turns into something different when you do that, and the item gets sent to you in the mail. Which also
I see Global Sports Card investor in the chat. He says golden ticket number to 10 Lemon Funko NFT. Oh yeah, look, I laugh about these things, Ziggy, but we're genuinely thinking about how can we turn the infamous Lemon into an NFT? Like we're actually NFTs are that ingrained in my brain right now that like I'm thinking, how do I make this happen?
Well, here's the thing. I read something, and I don't know how realistic this is, but I think investment in NFTs, I think in 2019 were like millions. 2020 was like hundreds of millions. 2021, it's been billions of dollars. And I want to say a vast majority of that billions has been this last summer. Just this summer.
Yeah. Right? I think just this month alone, there's been 1 billion
invested it is in weird. NFTs. Like I've been focused on, like, I don't understand. I mean, I understand, but I don't understand the Board Yacht 8 guys and all the koalas and stuff like that, because you're right, it's art. I know they're paying for it. It's minted, but I don't see it ever having utility. And what stops me from making another ape like it very similar, right? That's why I've stayed focused on the licensed sports NFTs. I like what Top Shot has done with some of the utility they've added. I love So Rare. I don't understand soccer enough to play the damn game, but I love So Rare. I think it's one of the best NFT games out there, man. Are you playing that? Are you doing that?
That's a soft spot for me, So Rare, Ziggy, because I knew about it in 2018, and back in 2018, you could have been buying guys for like $2-3 that are now worth thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So I looked at it. I'm like, why would I play this? You know, and then here we fast forward 3 years, and I'm like, that's why I should have played that, right? So
you know what's great about it is it's been growing slowly and steady without American involvement. Do you know what I'm saying? Like America is still sleeping. They don't understand it. Like, and So Rare just did an investment with Golden Auction, or not investment, but they're doing something with Golden Auction, where Golden's going to auction off their stuff. That to me is good. I think what So Rare should do, and they don't need to do anything, because like I said, they're working really well, is maybe make a US version focused on MLS, or do more, like here's what confuses me. I don't understand all the damn leagues that you can choose from in that thing, right? Because obviously players play all over the globe. I need to understand one area, right? I could do Premier League, or I can understand MLS. I don't understand Globe. But So Rare is amazing. I think it's a great NFT. Now, you following what's going on now? Or they're minting those new yellow ones?
Look, I'm not really following it massively, but just because to get in, like even just to buy like a guy out of, like, for instance, you were saying all the leagues, like buy a guy out of the random Belgian league or the Japanese league or something like that, it's still roughly around $200 to $300 just to get like an average guy. If you want to buy a guy in the Premier League, like a good guy, it's like maybe $5,000-$6,000 to get one. So it's quite expensive. But look, you know who's very knowledgeable about it and has been playing it for a while? That's Vincent Cardauer.
Vincent,
He's very
yeah,
involved in it, and
yeah,
we're letting him know. We want you to talk about this on the Soccer Card Collective because people are interested in it, and help educate others out there. And he's very good at playing the game because he knows soccer, right? So
yes, he
he
does. He
goes and
does.
he goes and buys guys that, for instance, maybe you buying a guy before he has a transfers maybe from a lower league to a bigger league that's going to
Yep,
see a bump up in his rare card
yep,
until and because even though he's might be wearing a kit from for instance, for example, he's using it, he gets transferred from the MLS to the Premier League. He might be in the MLS kit, right? But once he gets transferred, he still, when you put him in your team, because you pick five players to go in your team, and
yep.
when you submit that team to the challenges or the tournaments, he will still get the points, even though he's not in the right kit. He will still get the points for playing in the Premier League. He'll still get the points which add to your team. And like this is where it's like brings in the whole utility thing, because you can actually earn Ethereum for doing well in these
Yes,
tournaments, right?
yes,
So
that's
it
crazy.
actually pays off getting guys that score well. So it's the premise behind it is really good. I
Do you think
feel,
they'll?
and
You think Top Shot will do something like that? I know they try to, but
well,
with
that's
that,
that's what I thought they were going to do, some sort of fantasy thing. But I just feel
yeah,
like with how many things they've got minted, in terms of
yes,
like how does that
yes,
work? They'd have to be like, oh, all the commons are worth like only 1x multiplier, but like
yeah.
anything higher is worth more x, which is what Sorare does, right? Sorare, anything that's a higher, a more rarer item, you get more multiplier on the points. So that's how
Do
they sort of
you
balance out you
do you
getting
like
the higher
American
guys.
football? Do you like American football at all?
Yeah, look, yeah, we follow it. We talk about it on our show. We are actually in the process of getting a someone out of the States to be our essentially our spearhead of NFL football, and we're trying to get
Cool.
them on weekly at
The
least to
reason
talk
I
about
mention
it.
it, there's another NFT project, and I'm going to stop talking NFTs because we're going to kill the audience here. It's called NFT Draft, and I just put a video together, which I'm uploading tonight. I'm gonna drop tomorrow on my NFT channel, but I'll tag you on it. But it's using fantasy football and NFTs where you build a team and you compete, and it's freaking well done because it's not licensed, so you're not getting like Patrick Mahomes. You're getting Chiefs quarterback number one, right? And you can get him in a common, in a rare, in a super rare, and a legendary. And the better his value, the better it gets a multiplier in his performance. So it's like so rare, right? Where the players have that movability. You build a team every week to compete, but it's around football. So I think that's something that me as an American, I can accept. I can kind of grasp my head around, right? It's very
Yep.
so rare like, but it's American football. And it's the first one they're doing. They're going to do other sports. I suspect they're going to do basketball, and I suspect they'll do baseball in the future too. But anyway, I'll share more on that with you later on. Let me go ahead. I'm going to open up to questions in the audience. If anybody has questions, I'd love to hear from the audience for the double coverage, for myself. I'd also like to hear, are you going to do any more of the Tops NFTs? You see that they, with Tops NFTs, if you die, you forfeit all your Tops NFTs. Did you
You
know that?
die, like literally, like get put in the grave. Like, is that
Yeah.
what they're saying?
It's in the terms of service. It's the only one that says that. It says, in the event of your death, you forfeit all of your NFTs. You forfeit
Wait,
them.
why can't I put them in my will to donate, to give them to someone who I like
Why do
what
they
what?
have that clause in there?
Yeah, that's bizarre. I'm not gonna lie.
Isn't that
I,
crazy?
I
Are there any?
I I do know that they've updated the platform a little bit, so it makes it a bit easier to list. It's not as strenuous as it once was. Someone did tell me, I think.
It is, but still, it's still clunky and it's still slow. I understand why they're using it, but I don't like it. I don't like it.
Which
I'm not a
blockchain are they
fan.
moving to?
It's
Are
called
you aware?
Avalanche. Is the blockchain they're using.
Okay, okay.
I started following you legends after Ziggy shouted you guys out, and I listen to Sauce and Dom religiously. Dude, that's cool because Global's down in Australia, I believe, or New Zealand. I'm sorry, I forget where
No,
he
he's
is.
he's in Oz. He's in Oz. Yeah.
He's an Aussie. So yes, I'm glad he listens to you guys, man. That's awesome. I have a lot of friends. I used to be in a Facebook group that was all APAC. It was all APAC people, man. That's all it was. And a lot of the dealers were out of like Indonesia, Philippines, Hong Kong, Australia. In fact, there was a guy. Here's a cool story, man. Back in 2018, Choice Prism was very rare. It was made for the Asian market only. And the first videos I saw were out of Australia where they were opening Choice. And Choice was like, I want to say it was like under $100 a box. Like, I think $50 to $75 a box for Choice Prism back in 2018. And it was all coming out of Australia. And now today, it's freaking crazy.
Box prices are nuts.
They're just bobbleheads in the beginning. I didn't know that.
I see they've got these Inception packs up on Topps NFT.
Yeah, see, I'm a
Baseball.
little bitter though with Topps now because of the whole story with them. You know, if you die, I think that's ridiculous. No one else has that. 1 billion just in August. Holy smokes, that's an NFT money.
Yeah.
What's up, good people? Sports Card Anonymous. Good to see you. I did watch part of your draft earlier tonight, Dakota. I just, felt a little left out, which is my fault. I missed his draft. He was running a football draft tonight. I don't know, double coverage. If you follow Sports Card Anonymous, and Dakota, if you should be following double coverage down in Australia. Two content creators, you guys can collaborate. Do you know how sports cards became popular in Australia? I know there's a lot of YouTube followers. How did they become popular in Australia? Have they always been popular down there?
It's been very an underground thing, and I would say it's come to the masses in probably the last 3 years. I mean, and when I mean that, there's, let's just talk about like the city where I'm from in Melbourne. There was pretty much one, maybe two hobby stores that sold cards. Now I believe there is and there's four, so that's doubled. I mean, we only had two for years and years and years, and then now we've got, we've doubled in the space of, 2 years. It's grown massively. I mean, like the number one Facebook group when I first joined it 3 years ago, that marketplace where people buy and sell cards, it was at about 3,000 members. I think now it's close to the 10,000 members.
Wow.
So yeah, it's grown tenfold, and look, it's massive. It's massive. The whole break scene down here is also bananas as well. People love breaks here. Big gambling community in Australia.
Is it basketball or is it what sports are big? And like, is rugby big down there?
So rugby is mainly big in the northern states, so in Queensland and New South Wales. Down south in Victoria, it's mainly Australian rules football is like the primary sport. And then in the west, it's at the west and the south, south central, it's Australian rules football primarily, and then outside of that, we are massive NBA fans down here in Australia, like massive. I think I read a stat somewhere where, the second, obviously, after the United States, the second place where majority of the merchandise sold from the NBA store is to Australia. So, so it's massive NBA. And look, you got to look no further in how many Australian players are now in the NBA. That's grown from, years ago, it was only a handful to now, nearly our whole national team that rocked up to the Olympics are pretty much in the NBA. Most of the guys, right? A good 70% of them. So, it's huge. And then look, you'll be surprised, even NFL. I think, the last 4 or 5 years in a row, the NFL is Super Bowl is on a Monday morning here, Monday morning about 10 a.m., 11 a.m. And let's just say that a lot of people call in for a sick day on that day. Awesome. And go and get out to bars and stuff and watch the Super Bowl. So, and I've been to quite a few, I think the last 4 or 5 years in a row, I've been down to a sporting bar and it's jam packed watching the Super Bowl. So awesome. Look, American sports, the influence here is massive. People follow it hugely.
That's awesome to hear, man. That's what I'm saying. I love listening to your channel and listening to you guys because I love your perspective. As non-Americans, I think we take a lot of shit for granted. You guys talk about, like, we whine about, oh, I went to Target and couldn't get any damn boxes. I won't whine anymore. Let me see some other questions here. Watch Netflix, Funko, informative. Do I play fantasy football? I try to, but I'm not very good at it. I haven't won in years. And now I just give money away to people when I play. Get on Dakota and my brother and watch how we Aussies do it. Absolutely. Will do, sir. It's interesting that with the gambling community, I feel like gamblers make up more of the hobby than I realized at first. Are you a gambler?
Funny enough, Ziggy, I used to do it as a bit of a as a side thing, and I was quite good at it. I used to do live in-play gambling, but the government down here in Australia changed the laws, and now to place a live in-play bet, you actually have to call up and speak to an operator. And by the time you do all that, it's the line changes, and it's just too difficult for me. So I gave up. It's not worth my time because I used to do very well doing on soccer, but now it's more like just a bit of fun. I might have a bet. I usually do one multi every week, and it's like $10.
So,
That's it.
so stupid question. You can't illegally gamble online? Don't answer that if you don't want to. But I'm just saying, like, it
So
seems to me like gambling is around. Have they really made the law that constrictive then? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, all right. So how this works is the gambling license here generate a lot of money for the government. So
Yep.
for the betting companies, it's better for them to set up operators because it means that people can't get onto the bet as quick as just clicking your mouse. Because before you used to be able to, oh, I'm watching the game, I'm seeing,
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
happen in the game, and I'm seeing an arbitrage in the game because based off what I'm seeing, I'm going to literally just get on my phone, tap, tap, and you're on in like 2 seconds, right?
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
you got to call up, takes everything goes smoothly, takes 45 seconds to 1 minute. And in that time, they can change the line on you. Something can happen in the game and you don't get on that well. And that's all got to do with because the gambling companies complain to the government and obviously they're paying big, big money for these licenses. Government
Interesting.
goes, all right, we'll allow you as long as you keep giving us money.
Regulate it.
And
Yeah.
it all comes down to money. So, and we are the only country in the world that has this, literally. So, look, there is another alternative, and I'm very heavy in crypto space. I do a bit of day trading, and it's what I'm learning to be full time. Is pretty much just be a day trader on the crypto markets and things like that. But there is the crypto betting industry is a $1 billion a year industry. So, and that's betting with Ethereum, Dogecoin, whatever you want to bet, crypto.
Yep.
And I tell you what, there is no regulation. It's quite easy to to put a bet on. So that's at some point maybe I might do that, but I'm focusing on other things. I mean, doing the podcast, learning how to
Yep. Yep. Yep.
trade. And educating myself, I spread yourself too thin. You don't become, the old saying, "Jack of all trades, master of none."
Yep.
That was me until I realized, what, you just need to focus on a few things. So my main focus is like the podcast, cards, and like, trading. And that's it. That's enough for me right now.
No, I understand. It's funny. I used to gamble a lot, and I can say that I think sports cards helped me curve the gambling. And then now I'd say here in the United States, our gambling laws have gotten a lot more liberal. Like it seems like everybody can gamble everywhere, where it used to be state by state, and that each state had its own little scam. Like I remember in California, when you play blackjack, you had to pay $1 per hand to the state. Didn't make a difference what the hand was, $1 per hand. It was really weird. And now I can use an app. I don't know. It's very bizarre. There's so many, and with the fantasy football here, you got fantasy football that also lets you do fantasy football team and also do pick'ems and make bets on stuff. So gambling just gotten crazy.
Yeah,
And it's interesting because
DraftKings goes nuts there, isn't it?
it does. And DraftKings has even gotten DraftKings in partnership with Autograph for the NFTs that they're doing with Tom Brady. So when you get your NFT through Tom Brady, you're actually using DraftKings to do it. Really, really cool
Nuts.
stuff. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I've got a few more quick questions. I didn't realize how strict your government was down there either. I've always wanted to come visit Australia. Do the chicks really dig American men? Lie to me. Tell me they do.
They do.
I'm sure our women dig you guys too. So come on over. Have you been here to the States?
No, not yet. And look, the plan is for Dom and myself to at some point get to a national and do a bit of traveling around there. So
Well,
it should
dude,
be
listen,
fun.
next year when you come out for the national, you're most likely going to have to fly through the DC area. I'm in DC. Okay. If you need a place to stay, you're welcome to stay with me. If you want to drive with me from DC up to the National, we'll do that as well. You could fly to DC, big airport. Actually, the airport sucks, but you know what I'm saying? International airport area. And we'll go from there. But dude, I would love to see you guys over here sometime. So when you do make it over, you have a lot of friends in the hobby and the community. So please reach
Yeah,
out.
I mean that's one good thing about the hobby, man. I've made a lot of friends that I consider friends. Like I mean, I've spoken to them on the internet so much over the last 2 years. You know, especially since I started. Like I was in the hobby for a while, never had an Instagram account or anything. So, and then I decided to make one, and you know, here I am today making podcasts and regular content and getting on your show.
Yeah, it's
I have a
awesome,
lot of
man.
fun doing this. I have a lot of fun doing this. So,
It
yeah,
really is. Like I said, I really enjoy, and I'll say this to the audience as well. You and I have spoken in chat and stuff like that, but we've never spoken live until tonight. And I really enjoy getting to meet you. This will be the first of many times they'll have you on the channel, and I look forward to being on your channel with Dom and the guys. Like I said, I really appreciate everything. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because we're coming up almost on an hour. I try to keep this at 30 to 45 minutes. Not that anybody ever watches the whole thing anyway, but that's kind of the goal. I mean, cracking me up. We mentioned Australia, talking about the beautiful women. Your women, you know what it is? It's the accent. And I'll be honest, as a stupid fucking American, I can't tell the difference between whether it's a British accent, Australian, or New Zealand. They all sound great to me. I don't give a shit. Give me a beautiful woman who's speaking like that. I'm all in it. I'm sold. I don't care.
he's in love.
I'm going to be on that show. What's it? The 90-Day Fiance show. I'm going to marry an Australian woman.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's
Oh
yeah.
man. Well, I made people laugh. That's what's important. That's what's important. Well, man, dude, thank you again. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the channel. I will be up in the morning doing coffee in the morning, and I know it's I don't even know what time it is for you, man. But again, dude, thank you very much for making the show tonight. Really, really, really appreciate it.
No problems. Ziggy.
Means a lot.
Anytime you let me know and I can jump on. As I said, things have gotten a lot easier for me to do this sort of content stuff because
Yep.
I pretty much just work from my home office. So unless I'm inundated with work, I can definitely make time during the day
Well,
to
dude,
get
I
on
want to
and
talk
make
to you. I
some
want to learn
content.
more. I want to know about what you're doing and stuff like that. But I'll save that for another show, and I will bug you again to do that. So really
For
enjoyed
sure.
the sauce. Tell the team I said hi. Everybody in the chat,
Will
thank
do.
you guys for being here tonight, man. Really appreciate it. Have a great night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Treat people the way you want to be treated, guys.